Hi, you guys. Welcome back for our daily practice questions. It is day 334, and as always, I like to first start with my introduction and disclaimer before getting started with our questions for today. So, for those of you who are familiar with me, hey y'all. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Brittany Weinstock, a family nurse practitioner and the founder and CEO of the Nursing Studio. I provide resources, tools, review courses, review videos, review books, digital flashcards, Q banks, one-on-one sessions, and more to assist nurses as well as nurse practitioners with success on their boards as well as in practice. I have been doing this since 2015, assisting nurses and nurse practitioners internationally with exam success. But y'all know my disclaimer and reminder is that we know there's no absolutes in medicine. We treat on a patient by patient basis, and any of the questions that you see here, I have designed and created based on the current guidelines that are being tested on the ANCC as well as AANP exam. Now, any of my videos where I'm teaching on things that we currently do in practice, I'll always say that so there's no confusion. So, with that being said, let's get into question number one for today. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you're not missing any of my videos. And if you would like to gain access to my MP Test Success Toolkit, it is free and linked in the description. My website is also linked in the description and it houses all of the resources that I do offer. And as always, I like to direct you to my business profile by simply going to Google and searching The Nursing Studio. It'll bring you here where you can find my contact telephone number, link to my website, and testimonials from previous review students. All right, y'all, question number one. A 24-year-old woman with no significant medical history presents for a routine wellness visit. She is up to date on all screenings. Which of the following is an example of primary prevention? Is it A, ordering an A1C to screen for diabetes? Is it B, administering the HPV vaccine? Is it C, referring her to physical therapy after an ankle fracture? Or is it D, scheduling a mammogram? Take a moment and tell me what you got, y'all. All right, so I always recommend reading the stem of the question first, as it allows you to slow down to ensure you're answering what is even being asked of you. So here the stem of the question states, which of the following is an example of primary prevention? All right, so honestly, this stem tells you everything you need to know for this question. So looking at the answer choices, the best answer for primary prevention is B, administering the HPV vaccine. Remember, P for primary, P for prevention, right? So primary prevention is that preventative measure that you will utilize. So HPV vaccination is a preventative measure for HPV, right? Question number two, a 50-year-old asymptomatic man presents to established care. He has no family history of colorectal cancer. Which of the following represents secondary prevention? Is it A, encouraging increased intake of dietary fiber, B, prescribing atorvastatin to lower his LDL, C, ordering a colonoscopy for colorectal cancer screening, or D, referring him to cardiac rehab after a myocardial infarction. All right, so stem of the question here, which of the following represents secondary prevention? And it would be C, ordering a colonoscopy for colorectal cancer screening. Remember, S for secondary, S for screening. Secondary prevention measures are screening types. So doing different screening exams is considered secondary. Again, preventative measures is considered primary. All right, lastly, question number three. A 63-year-old woman has a history of a stroke and now has residual right-sided weakness. Which of the following is an example of tertiary prevention? Is it A, recommending a low-sodium diet, B, screening her for depression, C, starting aspirin to prevent stroke occurrence, or D, enrolling her in physical rehab program? Take a moment to tell me what you got. All right, and stem of the question here, which of the following is an example of tertiary prevention? Again, this stem tells us exactly what we need to know here. And the best answer is D, enrolling her in physical rehab program. So remember, tertiary is actually the treatment. So implementing a treatment. So doing physical rehab is a treatment for some form of rehabilitation, some form of, say, a person has had like something musculoskeletal that's happening, they need physical therapy, enrolling them into these rehabilitation programs is a treatment option, right? Starting aspirin to prevent stroke occurrences is a preventative measure. So that's more of a primary action, right? Um, Screening for depression. Screening is a secondary preventative action. Okay, so just walking through those things like that. Recommending a low sodium diet can also be a form of like primary prevention, depending on the context of what's going on. So, like for this scenario, because she has a history of stroke, um, you could do a low sodium diet to prevent further strokes, right? Um, and just overall reducing that cardiac risk factor because you know that increased sodium can increase the blood pressure, which in turn can lead to stroke. So those are more of a primary preventative measure. All right, you guys, I hope you found this helpful. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with whoever you may think may find this beneficial as well. But y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. And if you need any other resources that I do offer, feel free to reach out to the nursing studio by giving us a call. You can either shoot us a text message or an email. And as always, everything that I do offer is linked to the bio of the channel, including my website. And as I mentioned previously, my website is also linked in the description of this video. All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. Happy studying. Bye, y'all.